Nigeria's equities market is down just over 3% year to date, and local bourse shed about 0.75% on Tuesday. Now, joining me now to recap today's trading and get more insight on what's playing out in the market is Tijani Oladipupo. He's the head of advisory and partners at Nuremberger. Thank you so much for your time today, sir. Interesting times we're seeing in the markets, though, but let's just take back and understand how the sentiments have been so far this week.
All right, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, viewers. The markets, as we've seen, there hasn't been so much to look out for. Having it close within the range of 39,000 basis points, even though with much earnings releases coming up and quite a number of script issues, dividends here and there, we haven't seen the kind of impression that we had expected, that were projected in the market in terms of investments and investors' expectations as far as these earnings are concerned. Of course, it's obvious that the impact of the COVID-19 is still, of course, taking its turn on the earnings that are being released so far, and that's what has been largely responsible for what's playing out in the market currently.
All right, now let's get into the sectors and see how they are performing, though. But I'd like to start off looking at the second best performing sector in the market so far, which is the insurance space. And I'd like to understand what you think is driving sentiment in that place, because quite a whole lot is happening in there.
Yes, thank you. As we are aware, a lot is happening in the insurance industry. Of course, starting from the recapitalization, all the old NSAS protest impact in terms of operational licenses has happened, and of course the postponement of the recapitalization, which of course we're seeing from agitations from shareholders' perspective as well as industry players. As also experienced, not much has been done. Most analysts has projected in terms of performance, and not so much has also been delivered in terms of the earnings has been done. First, we know that in terms of recapitalization, which has been postponed till September 2021, due from this agitation from both ends, it's understandable that we still hope to see a lot of activities play up. First, we hope to see much more in terms of foreign capital, in terms of acquisition, because of course that emerged from the continuous devaluation of the naira. We hope to see more acquisition happening between now and September in that industry. In terms of businesses, most of the growth indicators that we have projected are of course been marred by most of what has happened in recent past as well. First, the NSAS protest is one angle that has come with its own lessons. First is that Nigerians have come to realize the importance of insurance. And then, of course, there has been more claims that the players have to play, and because of that, it also affected their profitability. A lot of times we've seen that even though investors have hoped that they will turn in higher, of course, we also other part of the market has projected that much wouldn't be achieved given the impact of COVID-19, as well as how the various claims has affected their earnings, as well as the diminution in the capital given the continuous devaluation of the naira. If you recall, as far back as 2007, the industry capitalization was as high as $2.2 billion. But of course, as of last quarter in 2020, the industry overall capital was just struggling around $1 billion. And of course, you can see that impacted in terms of what the industry has done and how much the naira devaluation against the dollar has impacted the capitalization of the industry.
All right, but looking at you, getting your outlook for this space, though, currently we're seeing this sector hover around 8% year to date. What can we expect going into the half year?
Well, two things. In terms of earnings, we've seen 3-4 of them that struggled to do some yield, even though they were below expectations. In terms of what to expect, there are two or three possibilities. First is that those, as we can see, if you look at the recapitalization in terms of what is expected, now that with the new pronouncement, we see that life insurance is expected to have up to 8 billion, non-life 10 billion, composites 18 billion, and of course reinsurance up to 20 billion. So this recapitalization is one part where there'll be a lot of activities. First, we expect that there will be foreign inflow of capital in terms of acquisition. There will be mergers as well for those who will be unable to beat up in the industry. In terms of earnings, because of the gradual increase in the fixed income market, for instance, of course, we all know that insurance.
All right, quite a lot to expect there. Interesting times. We're looking at the market. We'll definitely keep our eye out and see how things continue to evolve in this space. And we're fast run out of time there. Thank you so much for your time. I've been speaking to Tijani Oladipupo, is the head of advisory partners at Norenberger.